So in 2021, I'll start with Amanda. What do you think your biggest operational challenge is going to be? And do you think it will be the same as it was in 2020 for the school district?
So I think what's coming next, at least here in Middletown, is we are really embracing virtual learning. We've seen it. Anyone that's been in education has seen over the last, 10, 15 years, virtual options become more prevalent, whether it's a K-12, whether it's an OVA, whether it's an ECOT, and we lose students to those programs, kind of like you mentioned, because virtual could be a good fit for a family, for a student, for whatever reason. However, at least in my experience, those students boomerang back to us at some point, whether it's a short time that they're gone, whether it's a long time they're gone. So what I think Middletown is going to start doing is we're going to continue to offer this virtual option for our families so that those students can remain here in Middletown. They'll be taught by our teachers, even if it's virtual. We'll have a little bit more control over the content that they're learning, whether it's on a boxed curriculum, that we purchase for those students and that we follow with that teacher guiding them through a self-paced program, or whether we start to, offer hybrid options where they can maybe take some courses in-house, but then, do their core classes on a platform at home online. I think that's important for our community. I think that is one of the things that Marlon has really brought to the table in terms of how can we grow what we're already doing here in Middletown and how can we make it more beneficial for our families, something that they want to come to, something that they want to be invested in versus looking for another option. If we don't pivot as a school district, if all school districts don't pivot and really start to cater to the needs of our community, they're going to find it elsewhere. Like I said, we've seen that happen over the last 10 to 15 years. Whether they physically uproot their family to another school or whether they just search other options, open enrollment or virtual options that they can choose for their child. So I think Middletown is making a good move to make sure that virtual is always an option, not just in a pandemic, not just in a COVID year. And I think that is in the long run going to benefit our community and our school district for the better.
That is That was a great answer, and you actually already answered the secondary part of that, which was how will COVID-19 change the future of education? I think you definitely hit the nail on the head, so to speak, with discussing that if the kids' needs aren't being met the way traditional other schools are, they will find another way. Parents will find whether it's open enrollment at another school district or another platform program online, why not offer all of it at your current school district? And you guys were already ahead of the game trying to create some virtual content, virtual learning for your students and working it in so that they're better prepared for the future. I couldn't agree more that you guys sound like you're really on top of it for the students and school district and the parents. So what about you, Key? What do you think? Do you agree with everything Amanda said? Is there anything additionally that you think might be an operational challenge for the at the elementary level?
I agree with Amanda. I believe our largest challenge will be converging the best of remote learning with face to face so that we are able to compete with those entities that for our students who had wonderful experiences virtually and grew and learned, be able to compete with those entities that may steal them away from us, to be quite honest. Offer what we need to offer for our students and meet the needs of our families, as Amanda said. So,
Is there anything key that you think COVID-19 specific changing as far as the future of education?
I would say forced is a strong word. COVID has forced us to see the limitless potential for learning opportunities. Some of the things that we did this year and part of last year may not have never happened, or maybe wouldn't have happened until a few more years down the road had we not been forced to due to this pandemic. So I feel fortunate that we've had the opportunity to learn and grow, and that we have discovered some more potential for learning experiences that may better meet or meet in a different way the needs of our students.
That is fantastic. I can definitely see why you guys are on the map, so to speak. You guys have definitely you have a unique, as Amanda had said, just a learning mindset. You have to have a growth mindset. Having school districts or teachers and leaders in your district that are, can't wait to get back, so to speak, to the old ways of teaching. There's definitely a lot to be said for that, but more so taking what you know and looking forward to the future as to how you're going to be able to benefit your students and having that student focus of keeping your kids safe, keeping your administrators safe, keeping everyone safe, having the technology, figuring out how to keep parents connected. Text messaging is definitely a good thing to use, and parents having to stay on top of kids, but also looking forward to all the different platforms that are really working, not having the same constraints time wise on your students and their learning, and just having more data available so that you can better map your students' progress as they grow. Thank you all for your time. I know I definitely went over the 15 to 20, and I promise I was showing restraint. I could talk so much more, but you guys have had some really good insight that I'm sure everyone's going to benefit from having. So thank you so much for all of your time. And I look forward to hopefully maybe staying in some contact to see what you guys are up to down the road, because it sounds like some really great things are happening there.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.